50 has just leaked shocking new footage of how scared and shaken Diddy looks in prison, and it's going absolutely viral on the internet. We had been hearing all about how Diddy was living it up in prison, drinking wine and teaching business to inmates, but now it turns out that there are a few people out to get him, and for reasons many people hadn't seen coming. It is now being reported that Diddy could be in danger of being imprisoned by Tupac's people.
This guy's life might be danger over here because people think that he has something to do with Pac. People think he has something to do with Biggie, and they right here in Brooklyn. You understand? It's right here in Brooklyn, and some of the people are still mad that he made making of the band walk to Brooklyn from, to get the cheesecake, and just around the corner from the Cheesecake Factory. So, Junior's. So it might be some dumb shit. So y'all need to get him out of here and ship him to Jersey because somebody gonna kill him over here. Those are good arguments, if you want to call it, but it's bullshit. He gonna get the same treatment no matter how much money he got.
For years, the deaths of Tupac Shakur and Christopher the Notorious Big Wallace have hovered over hip-hop like an open wound, and for just as long, Diddy has firmly denied having anything to do with either case.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to Tupac? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Tupac was shot in a drive-by in Las Vegas on September 7th, 1996. He fought for 6 days before dying at just 25 years old. Only 6 months later, Biggie was killed the same way in Los Angeles on March 9th, 1997. Two giants of rap were gone, back to back, during a time when the music world was split down the middle. That split was the famous East Coast-West Coast feud. It wasn't just music, it was pride, loyalty, and long-standing tension. Diddy, as Biggie's close friend, producer, and the head of Bad Boy Records, stood firmly on the East Coast side. Over time, Diddy's name kept coming up in conversations about both deaths. The Netflix docuseries Sean Combs' The Reckoning, which premiered on December 2nd, brought those conversations back into the spotlight. Several people in the series claim Diddy may have played a role. I think that Sean had a lot to do with the death of Tupac, and he ushered Biggie to his death. Bad Boy co-founder Kirk Burrows said in the documentary, the tension between Diddy and Tupac didn't come out of nowhere. Early on, they moved in similar music circles. That changed on November 30th, 1994. That night, Tupac was at Quad Studios in New York City to record a guest verse for Diddy's artist Little Sean. Instead, Tupac was robbed and shot 5 times in the lobby. He survived, but the damage was done. From that moment on, his trust in both Diddy and Biggie was shattered. In a 1996 interview with Vibe magazine, Tupac was asked directly if he believed Diddy was
involved in the shooting.
Only they can answer that question. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I can say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. Because you seen what I said in the Vibe article. I basically bowed out. It was going to go ahead about my life. The next issue, that wasn't even the next issue because them cowards waited about 4 issues before they got their story together. 4 issues later, half of New Yorkers commenting on me getting shot. And before, they was all like, we didn't see nothing. In the first issue, we did, Vibe viewers. Nobody seen shit. The 4th issue, when they came back with a reply, everybody knew what I did. They knew what I said. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bullet. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work. They found the bullet. Oh, you found the bullet, huh? So what is this other shit in me then? What was the doctors talking about? What? Can you explain these other holes in me? How'd I get gunpowder all over me? That insulted my intelligence. So yes, I did say Thug Life was there. Yes, I bowed out, all of that. But when they said that, they breathe new life.
The Quad Studio shooting was never solved, but Gene Deal claims Diddy already knew Tupac was going to be shot and let it happen. He says the 50 Cent documentary talked about the incident, but left out a critical detail. According to Gene, on that very day, Diddy, Andre Harrell, and Jimmy Henchman were all together in Jimmy's office. Biggie and Suge Knight, Gene says, didn't know that. Gene claims Diddy wasn't there by accident. He says Diddy was keeping an eye on Biggie because Diddy controlled Biggie's publishing at the time. Biggie was writing new material, and Diddy wanted to know exactly what was happening. That's why Gene says Diddy was in the building to watch Biggie, not to work with him. While they were there, Gene claims Jimmy Henchman told Diddy that Tupac was going to be taught a lesson over money Tupac allegedly owed.
The interim of him being there to spy on Big, Jimmy Henchman told him that they finna teach Pac a lesson. Because Pac had owed him some money. So that's why he was up in the studio and was coming to the studio. Pac owed him some money. He was going to work it off and get some money from doing a song with Lil Sean. And that's what that was about. But Pac was talking greasy to Jimmy Henchman, and Jimmy Henchman wasn't the type of dude that you talk greasy to, allegedly. Unless you're 50 Cent.
So Diddy knew what was going to happen about it.
He knew Pac was about to deal with it, yeah. He was there to see it. He was there to see it. He wasn't only there to see Big them. When Jimmy Henchman told him that, he was there to see what's going to happen to Pac. He was there for that. Because had he not been there for that, he would have went up there in the office. He would have went to the studio or the studio session with Big and them. He would have went to that studio session with Big and them. He knew what room Big and them was in. He didn't do that. He was there to see what was going to happen to Pac after Jimmy told him. And that's factual.
Gene says this lines up with what Kirk Burroughs has also claimed, that Diddy played a role behind the scenes. And if money was involved, Gene believes Kirk would know where it came from.
Yeah, Kirk Burroughs, he also said that, he feels like, Diddy was behind Pac murder.
Yeah. If Diddy played a part in that stuff, like he said, Kirk know where the money came from. I'm going to say this. They tried to, if you talk about the Vegas trip and the whole 9 yards, Kirk said that he paid for people to drive out to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? He said he paid for people to drive out of Vegas. I was heavily with Bad Boy at that time. I don't remember that part of it. You understand? I don't remember that part of it. But if Kirk knew and he was paying for people to drive out to Vegas in the whole 9 yards, it's hard to hide $1 million, brother. You ain't going to cash that in the check cashing place. You signing that over to somebody. I said 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000 times again. Eric Von Zip showed me and my man Boondang, aka my man Slick, a check for $1 million. We don't know, and everybody trying to say, lying, talking about half of it got paid, 500. I don't know. I know when I asked him about, we asked him, do we ask? No, we didn't ask him. I know when he showed us a check and he walked away after he showed us the check for the $1 million.
The people involved are gone now, but the money isn't. Paper trails don't die. If the truth is ever going to come out, Gene believes it's sitting right there, in records, checks, and transactions that can still be followed. Nearly 2 years later came the Las Vegas shooting that ended Tupac's life. For decades, that case also went unsolved, feeding rumors and theories throughout hip-hop. Then in September 2023, everything changed. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was arrested and charged with murder. Prosecutors said he played a key role in the killing In July 2024, a court filing revealed something even more explosive, a previously undisclosed 2009 police interview. In it, Davis allegedly described his role in Tupac's murder and repeatedly brought up Diddy, claiming Diddy was the one who ordered the shooting. According to Davis, Diddy was furious over Tupac's constant insults. A DEA and U.S. Department of Justice report also referenced a 2008 interview where Davis claimed Diddy said he needed to get rid of Marion Suge, Knight, and Shakur, and offered him $1 million to handle the problem.
Diddy's claim was an informant in 1997 who told investigators that Puffy had hired the Southside Crips to kill both Suge and Tupac, and that the Crip who was jumped at the MGM was in the group that had done the hit, and that they originally were going to do it at Suge's Vegas night by a bullet that night.
Yeah, he even said that, like, in retrospect, that was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to Puffy. By Zip stealing the money, now Puffy isn't connected to that shit. Or else it would have been like a hire or something, you know what I'm saying?
The FBI said it was just Zip.
So the FBI told you the
he
same
was
thing.
a dirty motherfucker.
So the FBI told you that Zip kept that money as well.
They said Zip's a dirty motherfucker. Everybody crossed you. You're the last one to know every fucking thing. Even lawyers, your friends, everybody can cross your.
Diddy has denied all of it. In July 2024, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said Sean Combs has never been considered a suspect in the Tupac Shakur homicide investigation. Diddy has never been charged. Davis has pleaded not guilty and remains in custody with his trial delayed. After Tupac's death, the danger didn't fade. According to people close to the situation, Diddy and his East Coast team were warned not to go to the West Coast. Still, Diddy pushed forward to promote Biggie's upcoming album. Biggie didn't want to go, but Sean talked him into doing all those things. Burroughs claimed in Sean Combs' The Reckoning.
I seen an interview that Puffy did with Fat Joe where he was talking about Biggie in his last moments in LA. And he told Fat Joe that he didn't want to go to LA. He actually wanted to go to London. But Biggie, he was the one that wanted to go to LA, and he was the one that was pushing to go to LA.
That's not true. My name is Kirk Burroughs. I ran Bad Boy Entertainment. I helped co-found it. I created the company with him. I raised from general manager to president. And at that time, I put all of those business plans together. And Biggie didn't want to go to LA. Ended up going. What got him out there was a week ahead of time to ease him into the whole award show. He may not have wanted to go to London, but was talked into it. First time ever a rapper of your stature getting this treatment. That would be something he would be interested in doing, but he was easily talked out of it by Sean so that they can make an appearance at an event in LA that Saturday night. A part of the posturing of not only did we come to the award show, not only am I recording my album out here, and Big is going to help me with some of the writing and maybe do something out here where me and him did this song in LA. I'm out on the town. And it was just too much.
This is something that Gene Deal has also corroborated. He revealed that Clark Kent, who was close to Biggie and worked in the industry, admitted he questioned why Biggie was even going out that night. Biggie was supposed to be traveling, not partying. When Clark asked why they were going to the Peterson Museum, Biggie told him it was set up by Puffy and someone else. Gene says he didn't even know this until Clark said it publicly years later.
They wasn't going out to no party, no clubs, and no hip-hop scene. They wasn't doing none of that, brother. But that one particular night they go out, and it was because of Puff and D-Rock. Clark Kent said that shit himself. I've been saying it for years, but everybody was saying, I'm capping. No. What do you call Clark Kent? Is he capping? He's a vice president of a record company. You understand what I'm saying? He was DJing for Big. Is he capping? All these people should smack themselves, brother. Because what happened is, when people hear the truth, they can't believe it. Why? They can't understand it. But it happened. We couldn't have done nothing Because it was no we. It was no we out there. Big had a security, Paul offered. Reggie Bullock. Puff had me and Kenny. We was down 6 to 8 other men. And it's 23 people in the entourage. And none of them got no guns. You don't go Cali empty-handed. We couldn't have done.
What still hurts Gene the most is that he asked for more security before they went out. He says he pushed the issue and was told no. Puffy said there wasn't enough money.
People still want to know shit about him. They should have had better security. I asked them before we gonna go out? Let's hire some more security. They refused to hire more security. They refused to hire more security. Kirk Burrows said the same thing. They ain't have it in the budget. Not without Big, they don't have no budget. How about that?
Later in the docuseries, former LAPD detective Greg Kading said he believed Diddy made the investigation harder, not easier.
My perceptions have changed slightly, gradually over time. Today, I look at Diddy through a different lens than I might have 10, 15 years ago. There were obviously some early red flags, but it's a complicated thing because we have to be very careful about falsely accusing people or even, making accusations based on nothing more than speculation. And we just haven't seen all the evidence. So I prefer to kind of withhold judgment on some things. I can tell you regarding Diddy back when Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls were murdered. He wasn't exactly cooperative. He didn't do what you would assume a friend or, a manager, so to speak, would do. So from a law enforcement perspective, he was very unhelpful in an area where he ought to have been contributing towards getting some type of justice in those two murder cases. But as we found out in time, he was complicit in one of them, and which would make sense why maybe he didn't cooperate in the other, because the two were, they were just, we always understood that they were somehow interconnected. And so if you're going to cooperate or provide information on one and you're culpable in the other, one thing could lead back to the next. And that's where I think he understood his own vulnerability.
Witnesses said Biggie's shooter was a black man wearing a blue tuxedo with a bow tie. No one has ever been arrested or charged in the case. Decades later, both murders remain officially unsolved, and Diddy remains free of charges. That may change soon though, particularly because an increasing number of connections are now surfacing when it comes to Diddy's alleged involvement in Pac's murder. According to Kirk Burrows, the tension was already there before Tupac ever walked into Quad Studios. Trust was thin, egos were high, and the industry was full of quiet rivalries. When Tupac was robbed and shot inside the building, Burrows says the fallout hit fast and hard. From that point on, nothing between the camps was the same.